the first half was out of this world. All I can say is I did a heck of a job at halftime with my speech to you. But you know, I think probably it's, you know, it may be good for us to see the difference between being intense and doing things right, making things happen on defense, and the same way offensively. Just it don't, you know, football is such a game where inches mean so much, but that inch may be in desire. It's not necessarily on the field in yards and feet out there to make first downs. It may be down inside your heart. What you want, how bad did you want to keep Georgia Tech out the end zone the second half?
We've had to come over some adversity this year. You know, we lost Bo Jackson earlier in the season. Then we lost Steve Wallace, you know, our big left tackle last week. And now, you know, Pat comes up with a hamstring injury. So you figure you lose one of your best running backs and, you know, your starting left tackle, and then you lose your starting quarterback. You know, the team's either got to, you know, come together or either it's going to fold. And we came together today. I think you know, it's a very exciting feeling for me.
And then they come back and they run the corner route, and Clayton was coming in. He said, "I'll be there, throw it," and I threw it, and he was there.
I told Jeff to just like put it out there anyway, and I was gonna try to run a good route. And I knew if I could like get the defender off just a little bit, and the ball was out there, I could go get it. And that's exactly what happened. He put it out there, and
nice to know you got 3 quarterbacks you can count on, right?
Yeah.
You know, at the first of the year when people was talking about who was going to be the quarterback, they just, you know, I think a lot of people on the team said that, you know, we could play either one and, you know, and win with them because they're all just great quarterbacks. And that showed that today. You know, we could play any quarterback and win with them. They all have great arms and, you know, great ability.
Coach Bodad told me that Coach Dow was real impressed with my catching in the last couple of weeks of practice. And he said my time was coming, and it did. So
makes you feel good, huh?
It feels real good, real good.
When we found out Bo wasn't going to be here, we all pulled together. You know, when Pat, you know, it doesn't matter who's in there as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do and winning.
Well, came from the offensive line. They just made a hole big enough a transport truck to drive through it. And I just ran.
And just hate to say it, but it was just a couple of them I just had to run over, you know, just to get in the end zone. When I use my power to run over and get in the end zone.
You, is this going to be a habit, scoring every week? It's kind of nice, isn't it?
I would like for it to be a habit, you know.
You hadn't scored since Mississippi State 2 years ago. Did it feel good?
It felt pretty good.
Now you got to go to Mississippi State next week.
Yeah, hope to get another one there, too.
First interception.
Great.
Feel good?
Feels great.
You just stepped in front of the guy.
Yeah, he kind of threw it behind him, and you know, it just hit me in the chest. I should have run a touchdown. Fell to my knee.
Well, we were just so far ahead coming out. You know, we just had a mental letdown in the second half, and I guess you could expect that after we had done so well in the first half. But I feel like we learned something from this win.
We were just going to stay with our plan that we used the first half, which we did. And they came out the second half, and they were fired up. We were fired up, but we weren't really the way we were in the first half, and they just executed.
Two-bearing the ball carrier. Pass complete to number 82, Jeff Park. Run out of bounds.
What a hole, huh? That was 4-3 defense with no linebacker on side. You just hit it, and it just...
Georgia Tech nothing.
The first football game played on the Auburn campus in 1896 was a long-anticipated event. The opponent was Georgia Tech. In those days, people and football teams traveled by train. With that in mind, a group of Auburn students slipped silently from a boarding house and assembled near the Auburn Depot in the pre-dawn hours of game day. Most were wearing only their pajamas as quietly buckets of lard were distributed to the group. Spacing themselves along the western of Alabama tracks, they proceeded to lubricate the rails in the direction of Opelika and Atlanta. Later that morning, as the lard glistened on the sun-warmed rails, the rambling wreck from Georgia Tech began to break for the Auburn station. And slid right through town. Some say halfway to Lochapoka. That Georgia Tech football team had to walk back to Auburn. And to this day, Auburn students march in their pajamas just before the Georgia Tech football game.
We're on the play with number 9.